Calling you out. Why in the world are you crying over a bum? Why in the world are you making a bum make you feel that way? Doesn't matter if they're a girl, doesn't matter if they're a guy, like make it make sense, right? And that's specifically the energy that I'm specifically feeling for you. I don't know why I feel like for a while after you guys ended things, you were chasing after them. Okay? But one day you said, you know what? I am not being respected. And trust me when I tell you, if you look like that, you're going to learn how to respect me. Right? But they didn't. And that's perfectly fine. But like I'm telling you, I honestly do feel like for a while, you felt bad about these things ended. But now that you are like literally seeing into the clear sky, like lo miras, estás poquito feo, no estás tan atractivo. Right? The thing about it is that right now you're focusing on your balance. You're focusing on you. You're being very practical with things around you. And now you're coming to the realization you took more from me than you gave me. Right? And that's the energy that you are on. And right now you're basically just trying to stay with yourself. So maybe you're not looking for love. Maybe you don't want love. What you want is money. And I feel that energy too, right? And you're definitely in that energy with the Queen of Pentacles and with the Hierophant. And I'm specifically feeling like you're going to always be better off than them. So why are you crying? Why do you want closure? Your closure is that you're always going to be better off than they will ever be. Right? Exactly. And you're still feeling conflicted to a certain extent because you did want closure. Like, it's common sense. Like, if you're going to string me along, if you're going to make me like you, if you're going to make me have a heart for you, the best thing you can do is tell me why you no longer want me. Right? They didn't tell you because they don't have the guts. De un hombre, if they're a guy, they don't have the guts to tell you why they dragged you along. And if they're a female, they don't have the sincerity, the emotional awareness that females have. Right? So the things about it is that with the Queen of Pentacles and with the Five of Wands, even though it's very much so conflicting, it's best if you walk away. And I feel like that's what you're doing because we have the Queen of Pentacles right here. Look, I want to tell you something that you're probably not going to like is going to be some sort of delulu. But I'm specifically sensing that with the Hierophant, you're going to basically leave a standard for them. What does that mean? It basically means that you left a standard for that person. Why? Because with the Queen of Pentacles, you were genuine about how you treated that person. Right? So it could definitely mean that they could be looking for you in other people. Or they could somehow be trying to find you within other people, right? The thing about it is that the Page of Wands is their energy right here being in reverse. They lack direction, right? What does this mean? It means that they don't have goals for their future. Or if they do have goals, their goals are basically very, very blunt, you can say, meaning that, no, not blunt, but they like a direction, meaning that, oh, I want to be a millionaire. How are you going to become a millionaire? You can't just win the lottery. I mean, you can, but you're not going to. I can tell, right? And I feel like you did have goals set in place for yourself, and they were more of an anchor to you. So they were attaching themselves to you, and they were basically pulling you down. And I feel like you started to know that. With the Page of Wands, I actually also want you to acknowledge that they have very limited beliefs, meaning that what they saw in you is what they wanted to be. The dreams, the expansion that you are creating for yourself is what they want it to be because deep down within themselves, they didn't believe that themselves. So now you understand why they went after you, they used you, and then they broke your heart because they adored the energy that you basically pulled off. With the Five of Pentacles being right here in reverse, you were so sure within yourself that they liked that about you because they didn't have that. And I want you to clearly acknowledge that. Like, you acknowledge that with me, don't you? Right? The thing about it is that, look, they found on you what they find attractive. They found on you what they were looking for with people. Right? So that's definitely what's currently going on and what's happening with you and what's happening with them. Right? I want you to truly, truly acknowledge that you hold more balance and more happiness than they will ever will in their reality, and that's one thing that I truly want you to know. Okay, and the fact that right now we have the Ten of Cups, the Fool being right here in reverse, and then the Nine of Cups, and this is all being presented through their energy, is the fact that they're not going to move on from the place that they are. Okay, even if they want to, even if they do, I feel like they have put so many people through conflict that their karma is always going to be not knowing how to be stable, right? And like I'm telling you, I personally also feel like with the Nine of Cups, they lack with so much joy because they were always in this negative mindset, always cursing at everybody, always just basically wishing bad upon people. That, what do you want me to tell you? That's their karma with Ten of Cups reverse. With the Nine of Cups reverse, struggling with connections, struggling within themselves, right? And I also want you to acknowledge that with the Fool, the potential that you saw within them was always within you. So you thinking, if I was in their shoes, I would do that for me. That's what you would do if you were them, right? So this potential that you were seeing in them is the potential that you have. And that's why I'm telling you, why are you feeling bad? Why are you crying? Why did you mourn them? There was no reason for you to mourn something that you know it's never going to surpass you or be better than you, right? And that's why I want to clock you right now. And I truly want to clock you because they're anchors. And they're anchors for the people around them with the Fool reverse, holding back, Ten of Cups reverse, struggling connections, not really having values for yourself, lack of direction, and lack of fulfillment, and lack of inner joy with their happiness, right? So those things definitely are going on. Those things are definitely happening everywhere, right? So it's definitely an energy you should not be stuck on, or you should be an energy that you should not be holding on to, because the only thing that you're going to hold on to is a memory of them wanting to be you, because all the potential you have is what they wanted in a person. That's basically all I have for you. We have Leo, super egotistical. We have Pisces, we have Gemini, and we have Pisces, Leo, Gemini. Take care.